लेट क्यों थे आप इतना आज?
So guys, if you take something you like and you do it well enough for a long enough period of time, you will be successful. Hectic. It's been very hectic.
You talked about your brand, you talked about football tournament, and you also talked about your college work.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah, the website.
The website.
Oh my god, the website.
Okay, I have an idea. Now what?
Yeah.
So
I look at this store and I was like, this looks a little too much like my brand. Consistency is key, you know. So yeah, but I had this base logo when I came in, and I showed it to one photo. I don't remember his name. He's like, "Bro, can I be very honest with you?" I was like, "Yeah, this is the worst logo I've seen in my life."
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Lemon Lessons. Now today we have a very special guest, Jadon Collins. Now this episode holds a very special place in my heart because it was the very first podcast we recorded as a team back in college. I'm incredibly grateful to Jadon for taking a chance on Lemon Lessons and giving us our big break. So thank you, Jadon. Now, Jadon is the founder and owner of JC Clothing, a luxury wear brand he started in his first year of college. Yes, first year of college. And in this podcast, Jadon shares the story behind JC Clothing, how he came up with the idea, the inner workings of this brand, and how he juggles it all alongside the college assignments and football. Yes. Now he's truly a master of multitasking, but the primary goal of creating this podcast for all of us was to demonstrate that we all have similar resources, we all have similar time, and to show how anyone, literally anyone, can start something of their own by learning from Jadon's journey. So without further ado, let's dive into the podcast and let's start with some kick-ass learning.
Hello.
hello, sir. So tell me one thing.
Yeah.
Late क्यों थे आप इतना आज?
So गया था थोड़ा. थोड़ा so गया था. Yeah, long night, but
Why? Like in terms of work?
no, there's not much work. I was just out catching up with friends. Like I met a few friends after like 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the last thing I'm seeing them for the year as well, right? So then I was up till like late night, came back, did a little brand work, had to pack a few things.
Yeah.
And then I slept only by around like 4.
Like how much sleep do you have right now?
Including like the 30 calls.
Yeah.
Including that, I'd say around like 5 hours, 5-6
5
hours.
hours.
So it's not bad, not bad.
No, I don't need 8 hours sleep.
I need 10. I cannot function without
Wait,
10.
how are you
man.
functioning, Abhi?
You push through.
You
I'll
push
say,
through.
After this, I'll just go and sleep again.
Okay, good. Okay, Jadon. So,
Yeah.
how are you? How has it been lately?
It's been hectic. It's been very hectic.
Hectic?
Yeah. I think these past 3 weeks, a lot of football's been going on
Mm-hmm.
because of the tournaments and all. So that just took up a lot of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of had to like sideline the brand and my freelance and all of that as well. So yeah, it's just been hectic. Plus the pop-up was there on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
everything. So
Okay.
just got it, like getting things into place now. I'm going to
So-
Dubai in a week.
Oh, he's going to Dubai. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But right now you said a few things and I have 4 questions.
Okay.
One, firstly, you talked about freelance work.
Yeah.
You talked about your brand, you talked about football tournament, and you also talked about your college work.
Yeah.
So there are like multiple things that you said right now. So
Yeah.
we're gonna tackle each one of them. Firstly, let's talk about the brand.
Yeah.
JC, what
Yo.
is it? Like if you have to like tell me a brief about the brand, what would it be?
So it is probably my way of trying to create this very tight-knit community through fashion, kind of like this community in which we all can express our feelings and how we, you know, because some people are not bold enough to tell how they feel on a daily basis. And if you have something or if you wear something to represent how you feel on that particular day, it kind of helps you with that. So it's like building this community that helps people express their feelings, how they have felt, or represent a certain story that they carry with them everywhere. So that's
Mhm.
what I'm trying to create basically.
So, like, I can understand that it might take up a lot of your time throughout your
Yeah.
day. So, obviously, we're going to go in depth about the time thing, but what pushes you every time to go ahead and do this thing? Like, what's the one motivation
Yeah.
that you get?
I'd say the one constant motivation is like the fact that I have to retire my parents. That keeps pushing me more than anything, because there's a lot of times, like, obviously it's passion. You do it because you have fun doing it. But
Mhm.
there 80% of the time you have to force yourself to do it,
Mhm.
you know. And the one thing that pushes me constantly is just seeing that look on my parents' face, you know,
Mhm.
and then them telling me they're proud of me.
Yeah.
I feel like everything comes and goes, the motivation comes and goes, but that is the one thing that's stayed constant for me
Mhm.
throughout. So yeah, I'd say that's the one thing that pushes me.
So, whenever you like in a mess or something
Yeah.
related to JC, do you at any point of time do you regret कि यार ये नहीं उठाना चाहिए था इस वक्त, it's just too much of
Yeah.
things in my hand, maybe I should have just gone a little
Yeah.
bit slow?
No, I don't regret it at all, because I think going into it, my mom told me that even if it fails and you don't even sell one t-shirt, by the end of 3 years, you'll gain such knowledge on the business and you'll have this edge over everyone while getting a degree like everyone. So I'm just going to it with that mindset that more than anything, I'm going to learn, you know. Obviously, you're trying to be successful, and that is slowly happening, you know. I can tell because it's just the start now, so I can't
Yeah.
really tell how it's going to go. But I already know that by now the amount I've learned about business, about the creative side of things, how the market works, I wouldn't get that just attending college.
Makes sense.
So I never doubt myself or never regretted starting the brand, because I know that no matter what, it's just going to be a constant lesson that it keeps teaching me. One thing or another. I can't tell what that is, but yeah.
But like right now you mentioned this one word, that's failure, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is one thing that stops a lot of us from doing a lot
Yeah.
of things that we want to. So how did you tackle that, and any advice or anything that you think you would have about it?
It really depends on how you look at failure, because for me, it's like when I fail, obviously it hits you. It hits. I'm human as well. It just hits. But you have to look at the brighter side of things. Like whenever anything happens to be it a social, like whatever it is, if it's a social blowout, whatsoever it is, a brand blowout, I think like the first initial impact hits always, and then you kind of, I at least try and look at the other side of things, what it's taught me, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. Obviously, you can't tell it. Time tells everything, but I try to look at it in a very positive way. Like I don't let the failure stop me,
Yeah.
you know, because I've always been told, and now you see it online as well. You know, they say that consistency is key, you know. So yeah, I'm just trying to stand by that and like not let the failure stop me, because obviously it does hit you and it hits you hard.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know that you have to just keep pushing. That time will come, you know, because if you take something you like and you do it well enough for a long enough period of time, you will be successful.
So right now you mentioned like, yeah, there have been failures. Do you want to share any incident that happened?
Oh yeah, I don't mind actually. This is something that nobody knows.
Oh wow.
But
Big,
yeah,
big.
so the latest release, the pain one, it
Okay.
was supposed to be
What the pain what?
the latest release, the t-shirt.
Okay, there's a
themed pain, right? The green
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one was supposed to be released with another one.
Okay.
Okay, and that was supposed to be themed fear.
Fear.
Now the design, everything was perfect, and the samples that my manufacturer sent in they were beautiful. I loved it. But when the bulk came in, all the designs were placed at the bottom right of the t-shirt, and
no.
it wasn't the exact color. It was different
Oh, no.
placement. My sizing was completely off. It was all messed up.
Oh my God.
And like that hit, it really hit at that point of time. So it came to a point where I had to break things off with my manufacturer, and it's like my third manufacturer now that I've gotten past. So this t-shirt is one manufacturer, the other three are another manufacturer. Now the upcoming ones is again going to be another manufacturer. So, and the thing is with these people, they'll just try to get the money's worth, right? To put it into terms. So it's kind of like dealing with that and the routes they kind of take, you know. Like when it comes to a decision, like when it comes to printing, they usually send me pictures, it's confirmed, should we go ahead? I didn't send anything. He's like, it's all done, you don't worry. And he said in a very professional way. So you get persuaded to some extent. Then when I got the bulk, it was very sad, and yeah, even this one. So for this t-shirt, the price that I got charged was double on the t-shirts that I've paid for the rest three.
Okay.
So it's kind of that learning curve that you get, and those are a few things that I feel have, how do I say it, taught me a lot of stuff. Oh my God, yeah, the website.
The website.
Oh my God, the website. So yeah, I paid a lot of money for the website, okay? And he had done it through Wix. Okay. And now I had no problem with him doing it through Wix. It's just that I wanted a website so people could pay through it.
Yeah.
And Wix does not have a payment gateway open.
Okay.
So there's no onboarding, nothing. So a lot of money went down the drain, a lot of money, a lot of designs, a lot of effort. And the thing is, that guy started in March, and he said, I'll get done in 15 days. He gave me the website by July 25th, and my release was on 27th, the start of the brand.
Yeah.
So that was a very distinct time. So that was the website that was out in the start, and I had to adjust it to DM to order. Like I didn't have another choice.
Okay.
But now, like I've switched to Shopify. Again you have to invest, but that money that I lost was like, oh, it was very bad. So I think that was the biggest thing I feel right now.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Also, right now, when you talked about these various processes, you talked about manufacturing, you talked about website. There are a lot of things that happen also behind the working of a brand. So, would you want to take us step by step? Like, if someone out there wants to start a brand, and you need to not teach them, but give them like a brief,
a gist
of how things go about. Because I think most of the times, whenever I thought personally that I want to start something of my own, the one thing that came in mind is, okay, I have an idea. Now what? So anything on that?
So I'd say, like, I'll put into steps. I don't know how many steps, let's see. But like, I feel like step one is putting that idea down on paper.
Okay.
Actually writing it down, because once you write it down, it becomes a certain meaning to you. Number two is, if you're actually going ahead with it, have a plan of how you're going to go about things. This plan will never go as planned, but it is there so you have something to go by. Because if you have nothing to go by, time will get wasted. So I'd say step one is putting it down on paper. Step two is getting the registrations done for the brand, like the trademark, getting the small licensing here and there, getting your name licensed, stuff like that. Step three is finding a manufacturer. Finding a good, loyal manufacturer, which is very hard, very, very hard. Step four is finalizing your audience. And I feel like step five, which is with a brand, is knowing your target audience.
Okay.
If you don't know your target audience, then you don't know who you're going to market to. Obviously, marketing sells the brand, and that is the do or die thing in a brand. But if you don't know who you're selling it to, then it's not going to sell. It's as simple as that. So it's knowing your target audience, doing immense research on other brands, what their process has been, and like you have to do like a very like deep level of digging, which is what I did, at least with the popular brands, because they've made it. And then I'd say is getting your branding down. How do you want to perceive your brand to be? Do you want it to be like a very low, a middle class brand, a high class brand? Do you want to go for the low class people, which is, again, you have to do your branding based on the target audience again, and then is selling the marketing. That is, I'm going to put it into very simple terms, that is a money game.
Okay.
The more money you have, the more audience you're going to reach, but if the quality is so good, it will be organic.
Yeah.
So, but right now I'd say, because in clothing, the competition is so high. Every 2 days, there's like at least 30 new brands, you need to have a mix of both. Like your brand won't survive if you don't put in, that money for marketing. So I'd say these are the very basic steps that you have to go by. There's a lot of like details inside these, but like, I feel like these are the base steps.
So right now you said the second step is about getting yourself registered. Just a question, like what happens is, when I think of something, I am so scared first I want to do all the research and everything, and then I think I'll have the in me that okay, I'm now convinced and confident, so I'll put money and register myself. So do you think that should be the way to go about, or register yourself first so that you are like are like you're responsible for something now?
So that was the first thing how I went about it, right? I started doing research, and later I realized that so many brands are coming out. It's going to be about time where a brand comes out with a logo similar to mine and I won't get to use it. So it's again, it's a quick game. You need to act fast. Like obviously I did research first before I even put my idea down on paper. I did research, but to some extent I realized that I lost a lot of time in that research because I didn't act on putting my logo, getting my logo licensed. That is the certain money that you need to take a risk with, because that's the money you never make back. It goes in the capital, right? So for me, it was like I spent 2 months doing research till I realized that I have to put my brand out there, at least licensed. I don't need to release the brand, nothing. I just need to license it so that it's in my ballpark now, it's mine. I can then take how much ever time I have for research.
So booking
exactly, and then it's like unlimited time because the registration takes a lot of time.
Okay.
Like
what's
so there are like at least 5-6 steps where so I did through one of my dad's friends who's a lawyer. Okay, and I did through his firm. So they run it by all the logos like throughout India, and they look for any logo similar. If it's similar, they reject it there and there.
Okay.
Yeah, any name similar. If it's similar, they reject it there and there. So it goes through all of this entire process. And then after that, your logo is registered. But it's not legally registered. Okay, so then that's an 8-month process for your logo to be...
8-month process?
Yeah, for your logo to be officially trademarked.
Okay.
But in this 8 months, you can use it legally.
Okay.
It's not officially trademarked, but you can use your logo officially.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
So my 8 months is still going on.
Yeah.
So
it's...
Yeah.
And
that's why you have so much time to play with, That's why, I also realized once I found out the process for licensing, I was like, I'll have time,
Yeah, you'll have time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing, that while this licensing and everything, goes about, there are like multiple, like for example, now when you have gone for the licensing thing, you might feel a little, on your shoulder. And at the same time, if you find someone who is actually using something similar to your brand, how do you tackle that? Have you ever experienced?
I have. I have.
You have?
So I was going through a mall in Dubai one time. And
this Dubai mall.
And that stupid, I was walking so nicely. I was having the time of my life. And I look at this store and I was like, this looks a little too much like my brand.
Okay.
So it's basically, you see the logo, right?
Yeah.
It's very thin.
Yeah.
And without these things.
Yeah.
That's that's their logo. So it's like this and like just extremely thin.
Okay.
And I saw that, I was like, oh damn.
Okay. And then it was also JC or what?
The name is not JC. It's nowhere near JC. It's some VV thing.
Okay.
But I was like, why would you do that?
So did you do anything about it? Or
no, the thing is, you can't do anything about it, right? Okay. You just have to go ahead, because by that time I was already trademarked in India.
So you're safe.
I'm safe in India. In India,
yeah.
For worldwide, you need to go at separate trademarks for separate countries. It's a whole process again.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like having the licensing to sell the T-shirt. After you get that, then you trademark your logo.
Okay.
So yeah, Dubai is a whole different scene.
Yeah.
But like I saw that, obviously it did hit me like, you could have gotten more creative. But then I was like, your logo's already changed so much from what it once was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's helped like with MIT only. Like I had this base logo when I came in, and I showed it to one fourth. I don't remember his name. He's like, bro, can I be very honest with you? I was like, yeah, this is the worst logo I've seen in my life. I was like, okay.
Ouch.
And like at that time, I was like 6 months into the brand.
Oh
like
my
doing
God,
the research.
6 months
Yeah.
into and someone tells
Doing
you,
the research. And he's like, this is the shittiest logo I've seen in my life.
oh no.
And then I started working. And now it's this. Yeah. If I show you the earlier pictures, you will also be a little shocked.
Okay.
But yeah, it is what it is.
But I think in this way you kind of understand
Exactly, yeah.
criticism, critical
Exactly,
evaluation
yeah.
is so important.
It is very, very important. It's knowing who to ask, right?
Knowing
Who to ask, yeah. Because the thing is, I don't run my designs by anyone in the college
Yeah.
because my style is so different and everyone's style is so different. The way of looking at things is different. I need to run it by people who know what my target audience is, which is basically my group back in Mumbai. So I have a team.
Yeah.
I have this one group where wherever I get done with a draft design, I run it by them. So we do this thing smash or pass. If it's a smash, then design is final.
Okay.
If it's a pass, then I have to I cut it. So I've done at least 200 designs right now, and I have at least 40 finalized.
Whoa.
Yeah, for the next 3-4 years. Yeah.
40 you say, okay.
Yeah.
So again, questions I have. Right now you said you have this team.
Yeah.
So do you want to elaborate more? Because whenever people come up with like ideas,
Yeah.
they're like single-handedly trying to go forward with things. But I don't know what's your opinion on
Yeah.
it. Should you go single-handedly or with a set of people?
I'll be very honest with you. Right now, it's mainly single. Like it's all me. It's all me.
Okay.
From the designing down to the marketing, you know. But I just have this team because they know what it's like, and it's always good to have that extra opinion. But more than anything, I feel like I really, really want to expand into a team. But everyone's so busy right now, you know.
Exactly.
It's like, do they really want to invest their
I
time
don't
into my
understand.
brand?
How
They have their
will
call.
they keep my brand as a priority?
Exactly, and they won't. I've tried it. They don't, and understandably so, you know.
Yeah.
So it's something that I'm going to have to manage on my own for a while, you know. Even the finances and all, like my mom's obviously willing to help, but I've told her there's something I want to learn. We'll do it together because obviously you have that experience and you know how to handle finance, you know. You're our parents, it's what you all do at the end of the day. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so now I'm basically doing everything.
And also one thing that you said, choose wisely who you want to go and ask.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I think a lot of people out there have questions,
Yeah.
but they don't know who they can talk to,
Exactly.
who they can
Yeah.
ask. So, any point of advice on that or anything which you have faced?
Again, like if it comes to something like a brand, right? Because I know who my target audience is specifically, you know the people that fall into that. You know the people that fall into your target audience, and then you go and you ask them. If you don't know your target audience, you'd be very clueless on how to go about asking people.
Yeah.
Like if my target audience was babies, who do I ask? I'm going to ask my parents, you know, like, would this look good? Because at the end of the day, they are going to make the purchases, you know. So it's like knowing your target audience, you'll automatically know who or what type of people to ask.
Yeah.
So I think that's it, you know.
So, okay. So you also mentioned a lot about your branding. You mentioned a lot about your manufacturers.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot about the website. Now, do you want to put how or what's the flow of these things? Do you do the branding first? Do you do the website first?
Yeah.
The manufacturing or all these steps?
So website was towards the end.
Towards
First
the
was
end.
the designing, getting
Designing of the shirts?
the t-shirts. Yeah.
Okay.
Then it goes by the manufacturers. Now the manufacturers have certain ways. They tell you if they can print it a certain design or they can't. They can't, you rework, give it back to them.
Yeah.
The manufacturers they print it on the t-shirt, they do everything, they give it to me, and now it's like, so branding I'd say is split into two. One is the before branding and one is the after release branding, right? So like before branding would be like my logo, my color scheme, the basis of what I want to base my brand off. And then after that is how I sell it.
Yeah.
You know, like the videos that I do, that is the post branding, you know, that add the vibe to the brand.
Yeah.
Which is what sells the t-shirt in the end. So I'd say it's split into two.
And how much time does all these? So example, you have this one shirt.
Yeah.
The launch is going to happen. How much time does this take, including all these steps like updating the website, updating the manufacturer, working on the branding, on the marketing and everything?
Yeah.
If you have to give a rough timeline.
I'll need like at least a month and a half.
A month and
because
a half.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, for one design.
Launch.
Yeah. It's a lot of work because like say I do 3 videos per t-shirt. And that each video takes around 5 days with mistakes at least 7-8 days because the rendering takes too much time. So in that 3 videos itself, 21 days have already gone.
Yeah.
Then at least 2 days for shooting the photography for the t-shirt. Now that I have a set play style of how I go about it, it's only 2 days max. So then that's around 23. Then uploading it onto the website is all a very last minute thing, you know. That so Harsh is managing for me. I just send it to him. He updates it by the end of the website. So it's around 23, 25 days, so a month basically. And the half is basically preparing the dates of when I want to launch it, how I'm going to go about it. So this goes out now, this goes out then, and this goes out then. So I need to have this videos done before this specific date.
So
it's
there's
like a lot of
full calendar which you have to set beforehand. And it has to go like that.
See, more than anything, I don't follow that calendar 50% of the time.
Okay.
But because the dates go up down, it just does go up down, you know. But it is something that I have to do. Because if I don't plan it, I'll have no idea when I'm going to post it, when I need to be done with a certain video. So it's a lot of planning, a lot of organizing.
Okay. And right now you said you have this one person who does the website thing. So there is one, you need to have people.
See, because I feel like to some extent, if you want to maintain a professional brand, you need to have people who are good at what they do. Now, just because I'm doing everything and I want to do something, I might not be good at designing a website, maintaining a website. At the end, it's not what I do. It's not my forte more than anything. So I rather give it to someone who knows it better than me, who has a better understanding than me, and who wants to learn about it as well, you know? Because especially now, it's like all about learning. Like say Harsh, for example, he wants to learn. He has a better idea of how UI, UX works better than I do. So I rather put it in his hands and I trust him. So for me, that's all that matters. So it's pretty much that, you know.
So also right now you said it's all about learning. So I think what is your take on that? Because a lot of people are scared to learn things, which is like, they're like, I don't know. So मैं क्यों करूँ ये चीज़ को, like.
I feel like the I don't know is just people being scared of failing. If you eradicate that thought that I can fail, if you get that thought that, you know, I can fail, it's good.
You will fail one day.
Eventually. I've failed so many times already, you know, but I'm still growing. So it's like they don't look at the long-term process. They just look at how would they feel after failing once and they quit. I think people who are scared to learn are scared to fail. It's as simple as that. Because I mean, I've been learning this. My course is also helping me, you know. I'm doing so we get to pick a topic on, you know, what we do. So I'm just doing changing mindsets from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And that also helps you, you know, changes your perspective on things. But I feel like if you're ready to accept failure, you know, then you learn.
And I think there'll be help from places.
You'll always get help. Exactly. You'll always get help. You'll always get support, you know. And to some extent, he will always learn even if you don't fail. But you won't learn as much if you
just sit back.
Exactly.
To end the podcast, I think I have this one question, which is the theme basically. And it's, what do you think your yellow is? What makes you stand out? What makes you different?
This putting me on the spot now. The yellow in me. Okay, that sounded wrong. My bad. Okay, I feel like it's my ability to dream big and kind of accept everything that comes at me, which is very hard for like people to do sometimes. Just tend to neglect things in life, you know. I'm that type of guy that accepts everything, looks at every angle, and then looks at my next step. I think that makes me stand out. Yeah. And my like constant hard work, like just going at it,
not stopping.
Exactly.
Lovely yellow. Thank you so much.
Lovely yellow.
Thank you so much for taking out time for us. The podcast is done.
Thank you.
Please go and shop JC Pay, right?
Yes, sir.
Promote also something.
JC Clothing.